from the campus of Westfield State University. This is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley. With convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut, visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning, July 31st, the last day of July, and July's joystick. What was he? I don't know. He was something in July. He was the jump starter of joy in July. Peter Coles,
who's not here,
is not here. So
He's not here.
It's a very intimate day with the two of us. Jay Pagluka, Trusty, Lusty, Dusty, Musty, and Krusty's sidekick, sitting right across the board from me. And I'm Bob Plass, and I'm from Westfield on weekends. And wow, it is Tuesday. And it looks like a nice day out. Looks like we're going to have a great couple of days here. Not as much humidity as last week. Maybe more humidity than yesterday, a little bit, I suppose. It's going to get more humid and more humid, right?
I was talking to some folks that I work with, dispatch center up in Nova Scotia, and they are all upset about this summer. It's been so hot and humid. They go, as soon as it gets much above 70 degrees, they don't like it up there.
Wow. No, it's really funny you say that. I was looking at this day in history, what happened on July 31st.
What happened on July 31st on this day in history,
Well,
Bob?
It was, it was in the 1800s, and the highest temperature in like Stockholm, Sweden was ever recorded for that year since 1756. It was 1880 or something, and it was 68 degrees was the high temperature, and that way, and I thought to myself, my God, that
sounds.
It's a heat wave. Can you imagine?
Well, I spent time on Bermuda some years ago for the real job, and it was after one of our extremely cold winters up here. The big snow and and barely made it into the teens some days, and so I'm out on Bermuda, and it is.
I never heard that expression, out on Bermuda.
That's on Bermuda.
That's really kind of cool, because it immediately sets you to know that it is an island when you're out on something.
I'm out on something.
Yeah. Is that your own expression, or is that how they say it?
I've got to look it up now. All right. I'll take credit for today. How's that?
Out on Bermuda. So you were out on Bermuda.
And they're talking. We were talking about the cold in the Northeast, and they're like, wow, it sometimes it gets down as low as 60 degrees here, and they got their winter jackets on and stuff. They're like, imagine off the coast. They're almost directly east of the Carolinas. They're really not. It's not that far south. Yeah, but they have two full growing seasons that they'll grow a set of crops, plow it under, grow another set. A lot of farming on the island.
So is it so they have two falls and two summers?
No. They have summer, fall, winter, and spring.
Yes.
But two of those seasons, they have two growing seasons. Very early in the spring,
I see
grow,
what you're saying.
And then they just plow it all. They harvest everything, come the end of June, July, and then they can plow everything under, grow again, and there's time for another harvest in October.
We'll have to ask Lauren Kinzerski whether that happens here.
Some crops perhaps, but we only have 2 or 3 months of really good growing weather here.
Oh, I do.
But that is a good question to ask her. How do you determine what grows? Where were we? Oh, we were in D.C. We were driving through Maryland and going down towards Washington this past week, and we were noticing all the levels of corn. They have early corn, late corn. Well, apparently they have really early corn, medium corn, almost late corn, and then because you go through a field and you see corn that's about 2 feet high, then 4 feet high, then there's some that's ready to be picked down there.
A universe of corn. Hey, so I was looking at the weather for the week here online, and it basically, today it's going to be 87, high of 87, low of 67. But the next 4 days, looks like the next 5-6 days, all have this scattered showers or thunderstorms. Now, I don't ever remember feeling like I was in Miami in the middle of summer. But last week, I don't know if you felt this way, that, it would rain for an hour and then stop for 2 hours and then rain and then stop and get beautiful and then this huge downpours. It's the strangest weather. Did you
But you're right.
that?
That's kind of like southeast weather.
Yeah.
In the U.S. I was in D.C., so it was kind of like that. Actually, we spent early in the week. We spent 2 days out on Cape May. It's down to Cape May in this case.
Right.
It's the peninsula at the bottom of New Jersey. So
the peninsula at the bottom. I think I've been there.
If you look at a map, everybody jokes about New Jersey. Everything's along the turnpike. But if you really go down, follow it really down to the very bottom of New Jersey,
right?
You
get away from a turnpike.
You do. It's
damn jug handles.
And it's a peninsula that is loaded with uncrowded beaches, and of course, watch now. Everybody's going to be there, and it'll be crowded.
Really, but every one of our listeners,
both of them. But it's filled with classic, beautiful, huge Victorian mansions that are just phenomenal. 2, 3, 4 streets deep from the beach, and there's really no big hotels there. If you go, you stay in a B&B, which is one of these Victorian mansions.
Sure.
To see them is just wow. Just take a ride up and down the streets is unbelievable.
Wow.
But to be able to get into one of them, and we were up in what in this one would have been the attic of the man. See, they stick me in the attic. It was either the basement or the attic.
Crazy Jay, crazy Uncle Jay in the attic.
In the attic, but we stayed up in the attic, and and it was beautifully laid out. It was air conditioned, and it was 1 block from the beach, so you walked everywhere. So I really enjoyed it. It was a nice couple of days.
So that was where you were going, or were you going to D.C. and that was on the way down?
We're going to D.C. I bought. This is how the week started.
Yeah.
Back in Christmas, I had bought Eagles and James Taylor tickets. They were down in D.C. in the National Stadium. Well, those are her 2 favorite.
Who? The her in this case is Marion, your wife.
Those are her favorite 2 musical acts in all the world. So I found out that the 2 of them were going to be there. I said, how can I not do this? So now I can say I got tickets that were about 20 rows out from the stage in the stadium, which were just phenomenal. And of course I want the technical. I'm looking at all the technical aspects of what they've set up. So that's how this whole week, I figured, okay, I'll go down on Wednesday. We'll take a relaxing day down. We'll see the show on Thursday and come back on Friday.
They were together, Eagles and
James Taylor.
Oh, how wonderful!
Yeah. So Marion decides, well, we're taking a week off, and we're going to go here and there. And if I hadn't reined it in, we would have been out in the Grand Canyon. So we ended up with a couple days in Cape May, took our time, headed over, and spent a couple days in D.C. and played the Monument game. And we played tourist of D.C. and hit the Smithsonian, and it was nice.
Sure. And the humidity level was rough?
It wasn't bad. It could have been worse. And it rained one night. We did a night nighttime monument tour, which is kind of cool. It's all lit up, all the monuments lit up at night.
Oh, I know
that
this.
was kind of nice.
I've done that. We had a taxi driver. I said to a
really?
taxi driver, we were going to the hotel or whatever, and they said, could you take us on the monument tour or whatever?
Yeah.
So the taxi driver did.
Oh,
that.
sure, you're paying them. Well, you don't care.
Yeah. And we drove all around. It was sort of like, in there's that, that actress, James Woods and Sean Young, in a real thriller of a movie, and they were in a back seat, and they were making love in a back seat of a car while they were doing the monument tour. Oh, geez, what movie was that?
Did they see any of the monuments?
No, this was the movie that Sean Young was torturing James, was stalking James Woods. Remember all that?
Don't remember any of it. Nope, I'm drawing a complete blank. Okay.
Yeah,
So clearly, I am not a connoisseur of that genre of movies.
Well, neither one of them is a big star now. And Sean,
were they then?
Well, they thought they were. They thought, and I'll tell you why. Because I actually had 2 dates with Sean Young. Now, Sean is not a man. Sean is a woman. Sean Young. She was from, if you watch The Alienist on television, she was the larger woman who was the doyen of New York society or whatever. But Sean Young had done a movie for Disney called Dinosaur, and then she did some movie with Ed Asner, and then she was on her way up, and she's the woman that applied for the Catwoman, went to the Catwoman audition in a costume, and that made notoriety. And then she was on Celebrity Rehab for a while, and then she did Skating with the Stars, and she is around now. I think she got sober, but somehow or other, a friend of mine's boyfriend was her assistant, and they heard that I was working for a ticket agent that booked Ed Asner. And Ed Asner was doing this show called Einstein Meets Ed Asner. And there was an actor who played Einstein. And that's kind of pompous, isn't it? Einstein, and come and see me talk to Einstein. And Ed Asner. So anyway.
I sat on Einstein's lap in Washington, D.C.
You did?
Yes.
Relatively, get that, relatively, how was it?
That's probably the worst joke we could have used.
Yeah,
but
relatively.
It was. Oh, I'm not going to go there. I was going to. It's a statue of Einstein down by the Smithsonian.
E equals MC squared.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Statue. So anyway, we go to the show, and because somehow or other I ended up being her escort, and a date would probably be stretching it, but for radio I'll call it a date.
So you're saying you were a paid escort?
I was a paid escort.
Okay, fine.
So we went to the show. She sat beside me, and then after Einstein got finished talking to Ed Asner, they called for questions from the audience. And suddenly I look to the left, and Sean is raising her hand. And Ed calls on her, and Sean says, "Hello, Ed. It's Sean Young." And everybody said, Ed said, "Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Young." Well, nobody knew who Sean Young was in the audience.
Did anyone applaud? There was a slight applaud.
Yes. Applause. Well, Sean realized this, and so she turns around. She faces her public and says, "Hi, everyone. Sean Young. I just finished doing Dinosaur, etc., etc., etc." And then her question was, "Ed, how do you deal with your celebrity?"
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I was just squirming in my chair. And
she didn't. Why? Because she didn't introduce you? Why?
No. Because it was sort of say, "Hey, everybody, look at me." You know, when you've had this happen.
Shameless self-promotion.
Oh,
yes.
When people want you're at a dinner or something, and they say, "Look who's in the audience," or whatever, and they ask you to stand up. You're on a committee, supposedly, or you suddenly get to sit at the judges' table. I was at the ladies' club, the women's Women's Club tea, and I was judging it a couple of weeks ago. So they make us all stand up, and they announce you, and you do the thing, and then you stand up and have to wave. I hate that. When I have to do, stand up and turn around and wave, and I don't want. Now, it sounds like I want it because I'm talking about it. I mean, when you talk about being recognized, it's sort of recognizing the fact that you are recognized. I don't know. Does that? Oh yeah, I know it. 6:20 in the morning. That sigh leads me to believe.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Plass.
Yes, I stand there, and then I do the Queen wave, and whatever it is. So hey, everybody, you know John Pizzarelli. He's the son of Bucky Pizzarelli, the great guitarist. They have a show. John Pizzarelli and his wife Jessica Molaski have a really great music show on PBS.
That's a fun show.
It's a really good show.
What's it called?
Deluxe Radio.
That's it, Deluxe Radio. If you ever get a chance to listen to this, the banter between the two of them is precious. I love that. But the music they come up with and the stories they tell behind that music is perfect.
It's exactly right. It's usually on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon on like AMC or NPR. So check that one out. But he's a really talented musician. They come up to the Berkshires often, and so you'll hear them talk about the Berkshires. At any rate, here's John Pizzarelli, great guitarist, doing a song from Monday on. He didn't do from Tuesday on, and I said, well, Monday is close enough to Tuesday. But listen to this great guitar work and John singing with his quartet.
From Monday on, I will be in clover. From Monday on, our trouble's over. That's because on Monday, just because it's wash day, oh, we're gonna wash all our cares away. From Monday on, things will be different. Don't try to tell me different, cause you know I'm right. We're gonna shout and holler, hip hooray when we say love, honor, and obey. We'll be happy from Monday on. From Monday on, oh, things will be different. Don't try to tell me different, cause you know I'm right. We're gonna Shout and holler, hip hooray when we say love, honor, and obey. We'll be happy, oh so happy. Yes, we'll be happy from Monday on.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Commercial Distributing Company of Westfield. Now in its third generation of family ownership, Commercial is one of the premier beverage distributors of Western Massachusetts. The Plasek family and the staff of Commercial Distributing wishes you good times throughout the year and urges you to drink responsibly. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
It's Tuesday morning from 6 till 8. Wow, it's Tuesday with Bob Plass.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning. It is July 31st, the last day of July. And where did this summer go? I mean, like, when you're thinking like
The summer ain't gone yet. What are you talking about?
Oh, Jay.
We
Look.
still got all of August.
Yeah. But
And August hasn't even started yet.
Yeah. Well, see, when you have a house that's between two dormitories from the university, and we know that the kids are going to get back, and I love, I worked for Westfield State for years. They're so wonderful to us, and I love the kids, but they're kids, and we have a relationship with them, a good relationship. But I'm walking the dog the other night and said, the kids are going to be back. It's, in like 4 weeks. And when you suddenly say 4 weeks away, you kind of like go, oh my God, it's here already. And, but you're right when you think that August has 5 weeks, right? Does August have 5 weeks? I think it does.
That depends on what year it is.
Well, we're going to pretend it has 5 weeks because I need all the time I can get.
It has 31 days, if that helps.
Yeah, 31 days doesn't go evenly into
30
7.
days, half September,
All right,
April, May, and November.
All right,
All the rest have 31. And I don't remember the rest of that, but February's in there
But February,
somewhere.
except February and June, I guess, or something. Yeah,
No, June's got 30 days.
No, June is 30 days has September, April, June, and November. 30 days has September. No, wait a minute. What is it? 31 days has September?
September's got 30 days.
30 days has September, April, June, and November. So
November's got 31, doesn't it? No, that's 30.
So 30 days has September, June. Let's get rid of the.
There's a whole bunch of people out there going, knock it off.
What are we? What are they, nuts? June is 30, right?
Look, I know July's got 31 days because we're at 31. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know.
Well, I know that August, I think, has 31. Okay, here we go. 5 almost full weeks of August. 5 almost full.
That'd be good. That means I get a bigger budget at work because there's more work days.
And so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks before Labor Day.
Okay.
So that means that we are at the halfway mark of the summertime.
Right. So summer didn't go anywhere. We're just in the midst of it.
Yeah, but when it comes around, and I'm going that the kids will be back in 4 weeks.
See
4, 3
in September.
Oh yeah. As kids, do you remember? Did the summer seem endless to you as a young little kid?
I got to admit, yes, it did. Summer I lived across the street from the elementary school where I went. And they had playground. The town park and rec had supervisors there, so I literally lived at that playground growing up. And it was cool. It was a cool school. They had all kinds of swing sets and activities and sports and stuff. So between the playground and the swimming pool, the town had a swimming pool within walking distance.
Right.
I lived there. Those were my mom never worried about me. She knew where I was, one of those two places. And so that with all my friends, well, both of my friends back then, we had a ball.
Yeah.
We had a ball.
But it seemed like there was time didn't mean anything in the middle of this.
No, it was hot. It was wonderful, and behind my house I had fields to explore. They were old tobacco fields, and then they built houses. But imagine rows of acre big plots. But most of those only the little yard behind the field. The rest was all overgrown field that was huge fun to explore. You'd find all kinds of plants and
you'd roll up, you'd dry the tobacco plant and make your own cigarette.
No. There was no tobacco growing anymore. Down Manchester, Connecticut.
See, here I am picturing. It sounds like northern New England or someplace.
No.
Well, the Connecticut deal would have. The tobacco deal should have.
Tobacco should have clued you in. Yeah, they were old tobacco fields, and Connecticut. Well, all of the valley, Connecticut River Valley, was all. Lots of tobacco stuff there.
When you think about it, we never ever think of Connecticut and tobacco together. When I think of tobacco, I think of the South.
But Connecticut was broadleaf tobacco, which still is to some degree, and
they're still growing it. Someplace.
And the same thing here. It's Connecticut River Valley all the way up through Massachusetts,
right.
And Southwick still has some growing, but the broadleaf was a coveted wrapper for cigars.
Oh, I heard this.
Yeah.
So we were the cigar.
We were the wrappers. Yes.
We were the wrapper. So we weren't this was the bad part. We were just the wrappers.
We weren't infusing it with nicotine to make it addictive.
Yeah.
Did I say that?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. I worked, as a cater waiter at Philip Morris for many of their in their executive lunchroom. And one of my
back in the days when you could smoke in the executive lunchroom.
Not only could you smoke, they had signs all over the place that said "Thank you for smoking," and the rumor was that this lovely receptionist got fired because she didn't want to smoke. Now, all of the waitresses, there was a whole waitress staff. There were a lot of Irish women, and they used to bring in the actors to augment that in their big cater waiter rooms. And then sometimes I would do the executive business stuff. I was actually in meetings where they were talking about how do we hook the third world countries.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the word hook is operative there.
Well, from a marketing standpoint, it would mean something a little bit different.
Sure.
If any to fans of Mad Men out there, they would. I mean, that show I love watching for just the nostalgia. They did such a wonderful job of recreating the '60s of New York City.
Yes,
but even the Madison Avenue lifestyle of the '60s was there,
and smoking was part of it.
Yeah, especially when their biggest clients were the tobacco companies.
And my job at the in the executive dining room every morning, they had all these cigarettes, and they had free cigarettes for everybody who came to lunch, and I would have to line up the Merit cigarettes, all their cigarettes. In a kind of like a
don't bring in the competitor.
Oh my God! So of course, all throughout that time I was working there, I was smoking. It was ludicrous. It was absolutely ludicrous. But you were a smoker yourself, right?
I was not. No,
you weren't. You never. No wonder you have that nice complexion.
Yeah. All right. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
No, that I would thank my my Italian grandfather from. Yeah, I have that the dark complexion. Yeah.
Hey, 6:34 in the morning. It's going to be in the 80s, I think 89 or so, and then low in the 60s tonight. No thunderstorms today, but the next 4 days or 5 days, thunderstorms, and one day it says scattered showers, so it's going to be Miami weather again, apparently. So hey, I'm reading that the Bob Dylan book. But when you talk about Bob Dylan, you can't talk about him without really talking about Woody Guthrie. Do you know that he left his home in Duluth, Minnesota, to come to New York mainly to meet Woody Guthrie, because Woody Guthrie was his hero, his model, and he moved. Actually, he says this: I went east because I wanted to meet Woody Guthrie. Now, Woody is Arlo's father, of course. Woody was a real political activist in a sense for unions, etc. Wrote real political songs, but also was a troubadour of the downtrodden, I suppose. "This Land Is Your Land" is one of his songs, and whatever. And when you think of Woody Guthrie, "So Long It's Been Good to Know You," you know, remember that? "So long it's been good to know you." Well, at any rate, so I'm reading the book and I'm thinking, geez, I never played Woody Guthrie. I don't even know what he sounds like. So I went on YouTube and I listened to lots of Woody Guthrie, and I thought, you know what, this song here is kind of wonderful because he laughs on it, and it's kind of his humor song. You know, instead of patriotism, it's kind of it's patriotic, but in its own sense, it's critical of where the world is or whatever. So this is his song called "Why Oh Why." I bet you never heard this. Woody Guthrie.
Why can't a dish break a hammer? Why, oh why, oh why? 'Cause a hammer's a hard head. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Why, oh why, oh why, oh. Why, oh why, oh why? Because, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Why can't a bird eat an elephant? Why, oh why, oh why? 'Cause an elephant's got a pretty hard skin. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Why can't a mouse eat a streetcar? Why, oh why, oh why? 'Cause a mouse's stomach could never hold big enough to hold a streetcar. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Why does a horn make music? Why, oh why, oh why? Because the horn blower blows it. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Why does a cow drink water? Tell me why and why? Because the cow gets thirsty just like you or me or anybody else. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Oh why, oh why, oh why, oh. Why, oh why, oh why? Because, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Why don't you answer my question? Why, oh why, oh why? 'Cause I don't know the answers. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. What makes the landlord take money? Why, oh why, oh why? I don't know that one myself. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Why's there no pennies for ice cream? Why, oh why, oh why? You put all the pennies in the telephone. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Why can't a rabbit chase an eagle? Tell me why, oh why? 'Cause the last rabbit that took out and chased after eagles didn't come out so good, and that's why the rabbits don't chase eagles. That's all I know about rabbits and eagles. Oh, because. Why ain't my grandpa, my grandma? Why, oh, why, oh, why? Same reason your dad is not your mommy. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Why couldn't the wind blow backwards? Why, oh, why, oh, why? 'Cause it might backfire and have a wreck and hurt somebody, and might hurt somebody and get them all hurt, and that's so why. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why, and why, oh, why, and why? Because, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. On the web at baystatedental.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Discussions of local politics, events, happenings, and miscellany potpourri. Ken's Den, Tuesday, 8 to 10.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Oh God, here I am. Oh my God, here I am. Help.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Plass finds the microphone.
Community radio. Fire that man. Can you imagine if Anderson
really?
Cooper, Anderson Cooper, or any of these guys on the television did that? Oh, I've seen that
No,
happen.
Anderson Cooper has a guy. He has a guy that makes sure the microphone is in the right place.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And you get me thinking, and I was thinking about answering what we were talking to you about what we were talking about. Not before the break, during the break, and so not concerned about the radio listeners, and now I'm back, and I am concerned about the radio listeners.
It's
They've
very
now
easy
tuned
to
us
get
up.
Bob confused.
Oh man,
It's one of my favorite sports.
Give me two questions to answer. It's a why oh why oh why oh. I can't get why oh why because
Now, I've never heard that particular Woody song, but it is you can. If you know Woody Guthrie and if you know Arlo Guthrie and his history and his songs and whatnot, you listen to his dad Woody and you can hear the humor, you can hear the style. It just flows
that
through.
Talking, you're fitting a lot of words in a space. I mean, that's really Alice's Restaurant. I mean,
in a way, and I guess you could say that.
Yeah. So I got about maybe 20 more pages in the Chronicles of Bob Dylan book that so many days left, so many books to read, so many TV shows,
so that's what you
so
do
much
in the
music.
Summertime is you hang out and read books.
I try. I need. Well, I'm working on Pumpkin Fest. For Lucille Nason and I and the great committee
let's talk about that for a minute. Remind everyone, put this date on your calendar. It's Saturday, October 13th.
My God, you got it right. That's very good.
It's going to be down on the green right here in Westfield, and not only just the green. We did this last year. It encompassed the green, the old City Hall, which is across the street there. It's the old Carson Center, right?
Carson Center.
Yeah, they call it. It's the brick building next to the white church.
Yeah.
And then the church is down Court Street, and
Farmers Market is happening down there on that day.
They do that on it, because they do a couple of Saturdays.
Right. Special.
Well, this year we're going to be actually closing part of Elm Street and expanding this even more. Some more fun for the families and kids, and it's just going to be a great day.
The Scarecrow Trail, I actually called it the Scare Car Trail because what we were looking for was a way to get folks to take the walk across the street to Elm Street and then walk down Elm Street and see what's there.
There's a lot of cool little shops down Elm Street.
And with Circuit Coffee and burritos and Mama Cakes, and now we've got It Takes Two Bakery. And
I never make it past Mama
blended,
Cakes. I don't understand.
Oh my gosh. You could have a whole feast. You could, you could have cookies on one side of the street, and then breads on the other, and little sweet rolls and stuff like that. And around the corner, we've got Totally Baked.
Yeah, who's the new bakery down
It's
there?
called It Takes Two, and the reason why it's called It Takes Two is two twins, Kayla and her sister. Now, Kayla doesn't have a tattoo on her neck. Her sister has a tattoo on her neck, and I can't remember the sister's name. But when you go in there, if there's a tattoo on the woman's neck, you know it's not Kayla.
Yeah, I'm going to remember that.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Her last name, I think, is Sipek.
Where's that one?
It is right where Chanterelle used to be. Chanterelle to go, where Lauren Kanzerski, our great guest.
Yeah, almost across the street from Mama Cakes. Yeah,
that's exactly right.
Okay.
And they are real. Actually, she told me this week she's started, and I don't know how this works, but she said, I'm having sourdough next week. And I'm going to start. I've started the mama.
Does that mean they're just going to leave the bread out and it becomes sour?
Well, this is it. This is no. I
you can tell I'm not a cook.
No.
Yeah,
but it has something to do with yeast and something. And you have to have a starter. So you have a mother. From sourdough, and then that sourdough grows and grows. We'll have to ask our friend Lauren Kanzerski.
Lauren knows.
Yeah.
How do you make sourdough from regular dough? You don't just leave it out of the refrigerator. It's like milk.
Well, I think you do.
Really?
I think it needs to develop bacteria or something. And,
right,
and from that,
let's not guess. We're going to gross people out at breakfast time.
So at any rate, this week sourdough is there. They've got great white bread and sandwich bread and whole wheat and it's sort of good. Oh, is that a telephone telling us that what? Yes, there we are. All right. Jay is talking. Who is this on the air with us? Could it be? Ooh. Somebody who hung up. Ooh. They'll have to call back, Jay. I don't see a red button there. Oh, there we go. All right. Hello?
Who is this?
Hi, Bob Plass.
Yeah, who is this?
Pete Cole.
Oh, Pete Coles. Were you listening by chance? Are you calling in with the answer to our question?
I didn't hear the question because that's when I was in the elevator.
Can you tell us sourdough bread? How do you start a sourdough for sourdough bread?
Well, if it's a sourdough, you must have to ferment something.
There we go. See, I knew it was about bacteria.
Right.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to come back and say it was something to do with it. You put it in your smoker and, but that's all right.
You notice that we're talking bread. It's 6:47 and we're talking bread. We're not talking NASA. We're not talking politics. We're not, because we're missing you. So where are you? What are you doing?
I'm currently on my way to pick up our old friend Mike Drew at his hotel room across the complex here.
Mike's helping you call the games?
Yes, Mike's down for 2 weeks for the tournament.
That's cool.
And so you're down at the Babe Ruth tournament. Now, to explain, the Babe Ruth is only for certain kids. Yeah. Ooh, what is that?
Yeah.
I think... hello?
That's what happens to a cell phone. Are you back?
Hello, Peter?
No, I'm back. Hello.
Okay,
yes. Oh, my God.
Can you hear me now?
It sounded like the elevator was eating you.
It was the Bluetooth went funky on this rental car.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're in a car, a rental car. I thought you said you were in an elevator.
Well, I was when I was walking down, Bob.
It must be a very small rental car.
Oh my God. Okay. So here.
No, the Bluetooth was funky.
So tell us. So Babe Ruth is for 7th and 8th graders or something like that. What is that?
No. It's similar to the Little League brand, but it's a different brand. Mm-hmm. And they sanction baseball and softball from 8 to 16-year-olds, both on the baseball and the softball side. So Westfield has a Little League for the younger kids,
right?
And they have Babe Ruth for the 13 through 16-year-olds.
I understand. Yes. Yeah.
So I am at the Softball World Series, which is ages 18, and we had a 6 and under exhibition this year. But currently we have 2 teams from China here One in the 10 under division and one in the 8 under division.
Wow. And how many teams are playing and where is the World Series? Where is it? Where are you?
We're in Martin County, Florida. They call this the Treasure Coast. And we have fields in Jensen Beach and in Stewart, Florida.
Wow. And listen to you talking about so you are really connected. You're like and you're going to be even more connected because I heard some good news that the Babe Ruth World Series is coming to Westfield again.
Finally announced that Westfield, the Westfield Babe Ruth League, has gotten a 13-year-old World Series to kind of cap off the 350th summer.
Wow. So we're going to have 13-year-olds playing baseball next year from all over the country and the world. Is that what it is?
Correct. Yeah, 10 teams. It'll be 10 total teams. 8 regional teams, and then there's a state champion, which is Massachusetts is split into 2 states, as it were.
Right.
Because there's so many leagues. So there'll be the Western Mass State champion, and Westfield gets an automatic entrance into the tournament. They could, if they wanted to, invite more teams. So if they want to be an international team, they could do that.
Right.
Or another state or things like that. We do have invitationals on the Softball World Series.
Yeah.
But generally they try to keep it to 10 teams.
Yeah.
Because you can play that on one field.
So we have the National Football League and the Atlantic Football League and the Baseball League and all national whatever it is.
Yeah.
Who's the body, the governing body of this? And is it a big not-for-profit? What is that?
The governing body is Babe Ruth International. They are in New Jersey, and they are a nonprofit organization that sanctions all of them. My boss on this project is Rob Connor, who is the softball national commissioner. He's also a vice president in Babe Ruth.
And you are in charge of their television, radio. Is that correct? What
correct. Yeah, I'm in charge of all the television. We have setups for 7 fields. And we stream live on 7 fields. We have announcers on different fields around the complex. And so Mike Drew and Jim Rivers from New Hampshire are down here.
Right. Mike Drew's from Westfield State, right? He used to be on
Correct,
here. Yeah, on the radio here.
Yeah, he was at All Sports Weekly.
Yeah.
And this is his 2nd year down here. It's his 1st year for Jim Rivers. Jim was an umpire. And we decided to bring him back as a broadcaster. He works in the State House, in the communications office at the New Hampshire State House, and he also calls college hockey. So we brought him down as announcer this year.
Yeah. Are we able to tune it in and watch games? And also, where was Westfield in all this? Jay, is Westfield playing? Do you know?
The closest team that from our area is we don't have a Babe Ruth softball league. So
there's no softball league. Oh.
There is, but it's sanctioned under Little League.
Oh, okay.
So we do have softball in Westfield, but it's not sanctioned in the Babe Ruth. So therefore, those players wouldn't qualify.
Yes.
I attempted to try to spark an interest in a high school all-star team amongst St. Mary's, Westfield High, and Westfield Technical Academy, but they couldn't get together.
Yeah.
I had secured them an invitation to the World Series had they wanted one.
Well, we'll have to go out and do that. We'll have to.
So the places you can watch it. So Babe Ruth Softball has a Facebook page. We've been airing the games on there, and you can also go to sbworldseries.com, and you can see all the games there as well.
Say that one again. SP.
SB. Softball. SB.
Okay.
Softballworldseries.com.
So okay, gotcha. You having a good time?
Yeah, I mean, it's what you guys are talking about hot.
What's he going to say?
95.
No?
Yeah, right.
95. I heard the weather forecast.
Yeah.
Down here, it's 95 with a heat index of 105 every day. And when you happen to get a thunderstorm, it cools down to 85.
Oh, my gosh.
Right now, it is 81 out.
Yeah. And it's humid, right?
And it's humid, yeah.
Drippy.
Yeah. And the games are playing outside, right? I know that's a stupid
Bob,
question.
There's no domes. No domes.
There were no domes for baseball. All right.
But
so
we take that. The umpires actually mandatory hydration breaks for the players. It's really hot. They do take breaks in an inning. if they see a player starting to fade a little bit, they mandatory hydration breaks.
You just gave me a wonderful idea, Peter.
Okay.
The hydration breaks for America, where there could be a campaign. You know how we have to drink all this water every day? If I knew that at 5 past the hour or 10 past the hour was a hydration break, and maybe television stops and they have a thing that says hydration break, and we all drink our water down, it would help to hydrate him. No, is this not a good idea?
Well, Bob, you know what? In Mexico, there's a tradition of siesta.
Yes.
Which in the afternoons, you don't even work. You go home and in the hottest part of the day, you take a nap and then come back to work.
Yes, it's exactly right.
There are those in America that say we should have an official beer break in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
I'd be on for that.
I take a siesta break regardless. I take a siesta break whenever I read a book because, 2 pages in, I'm nodding off, whatever. Hey,
Bob, not only I've been doing my work down here, but I've also been doing stuff for you. And
you're so great,
man. And
yeah.
And then the regular job. So it's been busy. There's, this year we introduced a 7:00 feature game. And instead of getting to my hotel at like 10 o'clock, I've been getting to my hotel at like midnight.
Oh, my God.
Starting to work my hours.
Oh, my God. So you're like at
Pretty much, Jay.
Yeah. So you're like at a conference, basically, where you have one thing after another. You don't get to do.
We're trying to help the volunteers out by rotating around or giving a morning or afternoon shift on the streaming. But, Mike and I and Jim and some of the core task force members are here. We're here from, 8 o'clock in the morning till midnight.
Yeah. Wild. Well, I got one last question, then we have to take a break, a hydration break. How wide is a softball? Is it like 5 inches? No, 3 inches.
It actually depends on the age group, Bob.
Oh, really?
11 or 10-year-old softball is just slightly larger than a baseball.
So I'm just trying to put it in my hand here.
When I get the 18U division, I think is almost 5 inches across. Yeah, but the little kids, it's much smaller.
So
I'll try to bring back one for you, Bob.
Oh, I can't wait. I'll have my own softball. I'm gonna, and we better take a break with
it. Red and blue stitches, and we had a great we have a great guest for this group. We have 12s, 10s, and 8s right now, and Stephen Powell, who sang the national anthem at several World Series, a couple Super Bowls, has come down and he's a retired Navy, and he came down. And he's been absolutely. I haven't stopped laughing since I got off the plane.
Wow!
He sang the national anthem, and today's Salute to Service Day, so he'll be back for one final day today, and all the teams across the entire tournament are wearing the USA softball uniform.
And which town is the head or the leading contender right now?
Which division?
I
saw a great game. I saw a great game between Rockville, Indiana, and Mount Olive, New Jersey yesterday. I actually called it with Mike, and it was a back-and-forth affair.
Yeah.
And it was won in the bottom of the 6th inning because they play 6.
Oh, only 6 innings.
Yeah, bottom of the 6th inning, and it was the team was down by 4, then they were tied, then they were up by 2.
Right.
The other team tied it up in the next inning. It was a great game. So we have a lot of great competition.
And in Massachusetts, any teams from Massachusetts that are there at all that are doing well?
There's a 12U team from Berkshire County, out of Pittsfield.
Oh, good news. Well, great. Look at you. Go have a wonderful, wonderful time, and we'll see you when you're getting back next week.
I'm not back till the 14th.
To the 14th. So am I with Jay next week again, or are you back in the studio?
You were Jay for 2 more weeks, actually.
What is this?
I fly back on Tuesday the 14th.
You're coming back on you will be back on the air on Tuesday the 14th.
No, I will be flying back on Tuesday the 14th, Bob.
So you got a couple more weeks with me, Bob.
Oh, wonderful.
You may want to call Dennis Akins and have him be the third man in for the first hour.
Okay.
He's going to be tired of me.
No. He's doing really well. We're taping it. We're on channel 15. He's playing the music. I've got my hard CDs just in case, but the conversation seems to be rolling here, so we're doing all right without you,
As
Pete.
long as you send me the music early, it'll be on your desktop.
You are so good. All right, go batter up, please.
I'm going to breakfast.
All right,
It'll be a
sounds
long
good.
day.
Good. Have a
See
grit
you,
for me. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Yeah,
Bye.
see ya. Bye. Hey, if you want a great television show at 6:59 on Netflix, there is the Steve Martin and Martin Short show that is touring the country right now, and it's taped, and you love it. It's about an hour and a half long, and so I thought I'd play in honor of Steve Martin and Martin Short. Steve Martin and the Deep Canyon Rangers. You know, he's a great banjoist. And so this is Steve Martin. He doesn't sing on this. This is called Hide Behind a Rock, which I often like to do. I'll talk to you soon. Here is Steve Martin and the Deep Canyon Rangers from their album Rare Bird Alert.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley. With convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut, visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org. We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646. Friday mornings is something different on 89.5 FM. It's JP's Talk About Town.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Comcast and Xfinity.com, offering Xfinity TV, Internet, home phone, and home security services. Information on all that Xfinity has to offer in the Westfield area is available online at xfinity.com.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning, and it is July 31st, 2018, and you're listening to Bob Plass.
That you are.
And Jay Pegluka, that you are. Yeah, and Pete Coles, as you know, you just heard him. He's down with the softball tournament in, where is that again?
Somewhere in Florida. The Gold Coast of Florida?
The Gold Coast, yeah. And so he's having a great time down there. So we are here holding fort, and we may have a guest today. We may not. I think we're expecting Lauren Kinzerski.
We weren't sure if she was going to be able to make it over. So if not, you and I can fill the air with wonderful words.
So yeast ferments, and you've got to... we found that out from
We're
Peter.
going to go back to sourdough. Somebody look up sourdough. How do you make sourdough bread?
Yeah. So we're going down for Pumpkin Fest. We're going down the street of Elm Street, and we've also got Julie Levitt from the Antique Car Club is going to be doing an antique car show down there. And artwork.
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they're going to decorate the cars for like the Scarecrow Trail. So they're going to, she's going to get, the cars are all decorated or apparently.
Well, you may find that people with antique cars are a little reluctant to stick too many things on the car because it's all about the car.
But there may be a scarecrow driving the car.
That may happen. Yes.
Yeah.
Or some other creepy thing.
Oh,
It is, after all, near Halloween.
Oh my gosh, Are we in the graveyard this year?
Yes, we are actually.
Yeah.
The ghost tours are happening once again at the old burial ground on Mechanic Street. That's going to be the last weekend in September. So there's another date to put on your calendar: a Friday and a Saturday evening.
Oh my God! I got to put it on my calendar because Cindy will shoot me if I'm not going through the graveyard with her.
Yes. So you have a task, though. You need to stay on script. So that's our challenge, to keep Bob Plass on script this year.
Oh my God!
We are again doubling up our tours. We'll be going every half hour instead of every hour. So we'll be able to put more people through the tours, and it's a good time. It really is. If you want to learn a little bit about the history of Westfield and some of our forefathers and foremothers and for daughters and sons and people that lived a long time ago. That's one of the oldest cemeteries in the United States that's still in place. Well over 360 years old.
With 1,500 tombstones, and that's less than they've lost a lot of tombstones. So it's I can't.
Records weren't kept very well back then. So if the stone is not there, or fell into disrepair and got cleaned up or removed, there are more people buried there than there are stones.
So it's the 29th is the last weekend in September, because 30 days hath September.
Well, it's not the 31st then, is it?
No, there's no 31st. Okay. No. So
you really want to go there again?
No, I don't.
Okay.
September 29th is the date of the ghost tour.
Well, it's 2 days. Well, it's Friday and Saturday.
Oh, we're doing Friday and Friday. We do it Friday 2 days in a row?
You always did.
How did I miss that? I don't know.
Because it all blurs together, Bob.
Yeah. Well, this year is going to be really special because I'm probably going to be a little bruised from my eye surgery at the end of August.
Oh, I hope you're able to see the script we're trying to keep you on.
Oh my God!
You got to memorize your lines, Bob.
It'll be the first time I come out of the house after having this stupid eye surgery thing done to make me look.
How did it
younger.
become stupid?
I'm
a
still
couple
worried
of weeks
about
ago, it was all exciting. You wanted to do that. Now it's stupid.
Now the more I get closer to it, the more You can say, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to go. This wonderfully awful, painful thing is going to happen, and it's going to be 2 months from now." And you can live your life, but it's sort of like as you get closer to it, I begin to sort of go, "Oh my God, my God, my God." I don't know, but it's just me in my old age. I've become a scaredy cat about everything. Honest to God, to get out of the chair and walk to the kitchen, I say, "Oh my God, I hope I'm not going to try." No, this is not true. I'm much more vital than that.
Think about it this way, Bob. Every morning, I put out all kinds of traps between the elevator and the radio studio here. You've been missing them all these years. So, I mean, take heart in the fact that subconsciously you're being aware of your surroundings.
I am being aware. I don't know. Do you have that problem but you don't? I don't see a lot. I mean, I try to focus so much on what's happening in that I sometimes miss the forest for the trees. Is that's the expression?
See, if you just go through life oblivious like I do, it's a lot easier. You don't let stuff worry you.
Yeah.
There's something to being, just in a fog.
So I don't have to be. Yeah, really. So I don't have to worry about rain at any event ever that we have. We've been very fortunate.
Well, if it rains, is there anything you can do about it to stop it?
No.
Then why worry?
Well, that's true. Speaking of good weather, you're going to have a great night for Music Fest coming up. When is that?
The next Music Fest is the 16th of August. We're going to have Ed Orgill and his and the All-Star Western Mass Jazz Band.
Wow.
It's going to be a 17-piece orchestra out there on the green, so that's going to be fun. And vocalist Wanda Houston out of the Berkshires. It should be a wonderful night. Certainly something a little bit different from what we usually do on the green, but it's going to be reminiscent of a 40s jazz concert. Just incredible music out there. I think you guys will be impressed.
I love a big band. I mean, there is some music, and to hear a big band live is really great. Does that call for more miking than a regular?
Yeah. It's a little more complicated in order to get the mix right, because but I've seen of course the folks that do our PA on the green are ATC Audio out of West Springfield, and I've seen Tony come out and mic the Springfield Symphony as a whole for an outdoor concert, and it's just an amazing sound. So they do a good job.
Yeah. So we've got Wanda Houston now. We also
not Wanda Houston. Wanda Houston. She doesn't wander. She kind of stays on the stage.
Oh, all right. Wanda Houston on August 16th. But we also, there is lots of music going on. Like tonight, I heard that, tonight is the Amelia Park. They have music on
every Tuesday evening. Amelia Park has music.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure who's playing over there, but I'm sure it'll be pleasant to head over to Amelia Park.
And they go inside if they get a little.
In case of inclement weather, they have a plan. They bring it inside.
Yeah. So that's now Wednesday night. I heard that there's open mic down on the green. That's that karaoke.
Tom Sawyer's still doing that.
Yeah. And that's happening. And then on Thursday night this week, we take a break so I can watch
absolutely nothing on Thursday.
Well, I watch Big Brother on Thursday.
Oh.
So yeah. Friday night is the downtown.
That's my official ick. I don't do Big Brother.
Oh, you don't do, but you do downtown. Arts Downtown Live, which is Artworks
that's
concert.
On Friday evenings.
Yes,
and that's brought to you by the Artworks folks.
Right.
And
there's a reptilian band playing there this week. It has reptile. They're not lizards, but they have reptilian in the.
It's actually a Doors cover band, a Doors kind of a Doors tribute.
Oh, really?
Reptilian Czar, which was the name of one of their songs.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
I never heard this. Reptilians are okay.
Jim Morrison and the Doors, but interestingly, there is not a male lead singer. This is done by a female, so it'll be an interesting cover of Doors.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So all those great Doors hits sung by a woman.
Yeah. That should be a lot of fun. That's this Friday down at the lot next to Mina's Wine and Spirits, about halfway down Elm Street.
Right, and George's Jewelers is on the other side, and across the street is Burritos and the Two Rivers Burritos, and down the way is It Takes Two, and we've got a great assortment of. I'm missing some. Rosewood is there, and I think they stay open. Some of these stores stay open for that.
Some
event.
of them do. So come on down. It's a nice walk down Elm Street, and it's certainly a good time. It's always a good evening down there.
Yeah.
What's nice is you can come down almost every night in the summertime downtown and find music somewhere.
Yeah,
and that's nice.
Yeah, and then we've got Stanley Park Sunday concerts
on Sundays. Every Sunday down at Stanley Park.
Wow. Do you listen to music all day long on the radio? What's your radio? When you're driving, you do a lot of driving. Or is it mostly listening to talk radio so you can learn how to deal with me? Yeah. Oh, there's silence there. Okay, got it.
I'm sorry. You caught me off guard.
Mm-hmm.
No, when I'm on the road, it's usually for work. So I actually turn off the radio, and that's my thinking time.
No.
But when I want to mellow out, and I'm trying to I need a little background, I usually put on classical. If I'm driving in New England, it's usually the NPR out of Amherst. So, but what my favorite tunes when I went to D.C. last week, all the time on the road, we were listening to satellite radio, and most of the time, Channel 32 was on. It's called The Bridge, which is 70s and 80s easy listening music.
I hear you. I enjoy listening to. Well, I switch. So I take the country music for about 10 minutes. Then I move to a jazz. Then I sometimes listen to heavy rock or whatever the rock 102 or whatever. I mean, those are the ones that I don't enjoy as much. And when I'm in the area, 89.5, we have some great alternative music on this show. Honestly,
we do. The kids program that.
Yeah.
This is, of course, we're grateful to the university for allowing us to come out and play every morning here on the radio.
Yeah.
And the programming that's in the system when we're not here is programmed by the radio club here, and it's not top 40, it's not noise, it's really interesting alternative
music.
I don't want to say rock because it wouldn't be appropriate.
I think it's called indies or people who are in independent labels more so than the bigger label. Is that correct?
A lot of them are.
Yeah.
Of course, now small bands can go anywhere. We have a couple of recording studios here in town.
We do.
Yeah, down by the mill. Is the
down by the old mill stream.
Down by the old mill stream.
Yeah.
It's the name escapes me, and I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
That's the folks down there by the old mill down the south end of town, off 10 and 202.
And they record.
They'll put a record together. They've done that for some folks that we know here in town. And so you can put a recording together. The hardest part is getting the exposure. Now, you can get it out on YouTube. You can get it out on the internet.
That's how Justin Bieber got started, and Cardi B on the internet.
Right.
Both of them.
So, but how do you get the following? People still have to go to that site to get the song. So you still got to market yourself somehow.
Sure.
So it starts with social media. You get it out there. You get the word out there, and then you tell your friends. Your friends tell two people, and they tell two people, and so on and so on. What was the old hair commercial? Clairol or something. Back in the 60s. I don't remember,
Wait a minute. What is that? You mean
How
like,
did I go from music to Clairol?
Yeah. Somebody telling somebody that it's like you tell
And they
a
tell
secret.
two people, and they
Okay.
tell two. Yeah, it was a secret, right?
It's secret.
Yeah, but it's not a secret if you tell two people and they tell two people.
No. So the indie world is filled with some great musicians.
It is,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. And we have a TV studio? I think there's in Agawam there's a studio that does television stuff. Like independent films and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm almost
okay.
positive. I think I did some. They do industrial films, like for instance, I used to do all these industrial films for insurance companies, where there would be a script, and I would have to play like an insurance man, and they were teaching their customers how to do things.
What do you call corporate training films?
Corporate training films. Yes.
You know who used to do that, and maybe he still does.
Who is this?
Is John Cleese from Monty Python. Yes, that was his. When Monty Python kind of faded into the background, his regular gig was putting together corporate training films.
Oh my God.
which have got to be hilarious.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Knowing who does that.
Oh really? They must be good films. My
sure,
films are all serious, and in other words, there was not a humorous approach to the material and whatever. And
in my corporate world, I found, because I do a lot of training online, we've done things like, and that's where that comes into play now.
Yeah.
Is the ones that capture my attention are the ones that put a little bit of humor in there. You remember them better.
Oh,
you really do.
So much. But
Yeah.
I used to do voiceovers as well for a lot of corporate stuff, and there's nothing worse than having to read copy about deep hole drilling for like 25 minutes. Between the
Deep hole drilling?
Yeah. There was this deep hole drilling thing, and I had to do. I had to read with energy deep hole drilling. I don't know. At any rate, hey, and I am going from deep hole drilling to Cole Porter. How do I get that? Cole Porter is one of my favorite. Broadway, actually, the American Songbook is really the land of Cole Porter, and so I started to read his biography this week. And does that name ring a bell, Cole Porter?
Well, of course, yes.
Yeah, I wonder,
but I didn't. It didn't ring a bell when I looked back and saw Pizzarelli's name again. But that's who happens to do this version, right?
Oh my God! Oh no. Okay, so we'll leave my talk about Cole Porter till later in the season.
Tell you, we'll do the Cole Porter song second. How's that?
All right, that's very good. Yeah. So I'm going to play you Django Reinhardt. I realized that I was playing a lot of guitar songs in today's show, and Django Reinhardt, D-J-A-N-G-O, famous, one of the best guitarists ever. He was a gypsy, actually. He came from gypsy blood, Romanian blood in Europe, and had a real interesting bio. There's a great biography of him on Netflix if you want to look it up. Django Reinhardt. And so I thought I'd play you Night and Day, which is Cole Porter's song. And the interesting thing about this song, when you listen to it, is that it is in a minor key. So, but it switches to a major key and then it goes back to a minor key. And when you think of minor keys, you think of songs that are sad, not so much songs like this, which is really kind of up-tempo and wonderful. This is Night and Day, you are the one, only you and me and the moon under the sun. In the roaring traffic boom, in the silence of my lonely room, I think of you.
You know they don't have to listen to the song.
Night and
right?
Day,
Yeah.
yes. So, Night and Day, Django Reinhardt.
WSKB's programming is generously underwritten by Whip City Fiber, Westfield Gas and Electric, where they offer gigabit internet speed. Whip City Fiber, turning Westfield's neighborhoods into fiberhoods. On the web at whipcityfiber.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Thursday morning from 6 till 8, it's Patrick Berry, owner of the Westfield News Group,
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning. It is July 31st, and I am here. My name is Bob Platts. It's 7:26 in the morning, and I'm with my trusty, dusty sidekick, Jay Pegluka, and we're doing the Westfield. Hey.
What happened to Lusty?
Oh, Lusty and Musty. And Krusty.
And Musty.
And
Krusty. Yeah,
Krusty.
Krusty's my favorite.
You love Krusty. When I use the expression ring-a-ding-ding, who do you think of?
There was a character, there was a radio or television character, and I go back to classic, prior to the 60s, ring-a-ding-ding. And I can't remember who it was, but there was a character that used that line. That's what I think.
Okay. I can't remember who the hell that was.
But on the other, now in a different context,
yes.
ring-a-ding-ding would be a trolley, a streetcar, like in San Francisco.
There we are. Yeah. Is there any famous singer that you associate with ring-a-ding-ding?
Drawing a blank.
I picture like Sammy Davis Jr. I mean, it's sort of like a lounge singer kind of like thing. Yeah,
that pictures a Holiday Inn with the big ball, with the lounge singer in the corner and the smoky bar and three people.
Oh my God! You just described it. I used to work at this place called the Sheraton Commander Hotel.
Were you one of the three people?
Yeah, I was the waiter.
Serving the three people.
And the other one was the pianist from Somerville.
Oh, man.
Who had a lisp. She was a lovely woman, but she very tall. I can picture her, very sort of stately, and she would come into the Sheraton Commander bar at 5 o'clock at night. Now, the Sheraton Commander at that time did not have a big clientele, but they had, because it was a hotel, they had to keep a restaurant open.
They didn't make money on the thing, but
nothing.
It had to be there.
So, and it was, and I think it's still there. It's right at Cambridge.
Over in Boston?
Yeah, Harvard Square.
No kidding.
So right down a little bit from the square.
We'll talk about where that is, because I'm out there a lot. I've got to walk in and see if it's still got the same lounge singer.
Oh my God! So they had to have a bartender. They had a bartender. They had a woman with a beehive haircut who was the waitress in the bar. There was their woman with she had sort of an
stuck in the 60s, man.
She had an overbite, and so when she sang, you'd hear the whistle in her. I don't know.
That's classic.
Yeah, and then there was me as the waiter. And for many nights, there was the four of us, and because she was being hired, okay, she would be playing, and she'd play the music and she'd sing. Yeah. Oh my God! And it was lounge music, and we would have like guests from the hotel would be the only ones that would come down.
And they wouldn't stay long.
They would not stay long, no. Or maybe one or two people. And I worked a whole season at this Harvard. And why I worked, especially the tips, I wasn't making much money. Now that I think about this, what the heck was I doing? I was working in Newton as a teacher during the day and a waiter at night.
I have a theory about that.
Yeah,
you take jobs like that in order to appreciate the real jobs you get later in life.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, God. Can you imagine? I mean, like, I worked at the White Coach Grill over, it was where On the Border is in West Springfield on the highway there. And on Riverdale Road, Riverdale Street, whatever they call it. And It
Behind
was
the cleaners.
Yeah, well, it was right next to where
They take you
Hooters
to the
is.
cleaners.
Yeah, they take me. There was no cleaners there. This was virgin territory. Okay, and it was the white car. It was a it was a diner, and I got the job because I walked in and I said,
And no one else did.
yeah. Well, I walked in and I said, "You're advertising for a waitress. I see this sign in the window. I saw it in the paper, and I'm a waiter.
I can do this.
Can you hire a waiter?" And so Mrs. Gutentag hired a Waitenberg, and so I worked that shift all the time, and so I got to see the denizens of the night. And I got to see and that bar or rather that diner, every table would be filled. So in opposite to the Sheridan Commander, where we had no one except for the lounge singer and me, in this bar there was me waiting on an entire diner of people all clamoring after the bar for their eggs or things that they sop up their alcohol with.
Right.
And-
It was the late night place in Hartford or East Hartford. It was the AAA diner. That was our hangout. It was a wonderful Greek diner that was open all night long, and that's where we would go after the clubs.
I wasn't driving at the time. My poor father would drive me there at 5 and pick me up at 2. No, wait a minute. No, I worked. Sometimes I worked until the 7 shift. Sometimes I worked at 2 a.m. Sometimes I worked to 7 a.m. or whatever. So it was that's where I learned how to manage a big group of people.
Big room, yeah.
And that was real satisfaction without being bored. You could never be bored.
And the night goes by like that.
Oh, my
When you're that
God.
busy, it goes by like crazy, and you're dead tired at the end
you
of
are
it.
really
Yeah.
dead tired. So those are my 2 waiting experiences. So how did...
How did you get here? It was all about ring-a-ding-ding.
Oh, ring-a-ding-ding. All right, ring-a-ding-ding is the Rat Pack.
Oh,
yeah, with Frank Sinatra
and Sammy Davis
Sammy
Jr.
Davis.
and
Peter Lawford.
Peter Lawford was the one I never remember, and Dean Martin.
But Peter Lawford, and then they had Angie Dickinson was hung around them. There was one...
I suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
I mean, that was a classic Las Vegas act. It was, and it's a shame there's a lot of little clips of video, or at the time would have been movies. There's a lot of little movie clips of those days, but there's not really a record of the shenanigans that they would go on and ad lib a night. That's what that was.
Oh, yeah.
Their Vegas show was, hey, let's go sing a few tunes and get drunk.
Oh, yeah, on the stage. We'll smoke some cigarettes.
Yeah.
We'll be ring-a-ding-dinging our way. Yes. Hey, Ken.
How can you forget about Joey Bishop?
There you are. It was Joey Bishop. Oh, gosh. Yes, yeah. But I got a story I just heard the other night about Dean Martin. Not Dean Martin. Who's the other one you mentioned? Peter Lawford.
Yeah.
Peter Lawford was a member of the Rat Pack until John F. Kennedy somehow or other offended Frank Sinatra. And since John F. Kennedy, it's the Kennedy family offended Frank Sinatra, and so he banned Peter Lawford because Peter Lawford was married to, Eunice? No.
Eunice Lawford.
Patricia Lawford, who was
Mrs. Lawford.
Mrs. Lawford was a Kennedy. She was Pat Kennedy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Patricia. Right. So at any rate, he banned Peter Lawford from the final shows of the Rat Pack. And I think Liza Minnelli came in at that point to take over or whatever. But a very interesting story. I'd love to see a television or a documentary on the Rat Pack.
Yeah,
I think there might be one out there.
I'm sure there is, but it was some heady days in Vegas.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah. So Frank Sinatra had this song written for him for the Rat Pack, and it's called "Ring a Ding Ding." And but I got John Pizzarelli, the guitarist, and the Clayton Hamilton Orchestra. This is from their album "Dear Mr. Sinatra." I got to read a biography biography of Sinatra. Sinatra is then a real interesting bird, and I don't know a hell of a lot about his story. Do you know much about him and his mafia connections and all that sort of stuff?
There's no such thing as the mafia.
Oh,
I don't know
I'm
what
sorry.
you're talking about.
I'm sorry, JPEG Luke. I forgot where. Yeah,
don't put my name in there.
All right, there we are. At any rate, here it is. Ring a ding ding. There. At any rate, here it is. Ring a ding ding. The Clayton Hamilton Orchestra, big band. That's what you were thinking.
Lily Tomlin.
Yeah,
thank you to Ken Stomsky. I'm thinking ring-a-ding-ding. Where do I know that from? It's from Laugh-In. One ringy-dingy.
Two ringy-dingies.
Not doing it right.
Yeah.
It's one ringy-dingy. Two ringy-dingies.
Hello? Is this the party to whom I am speaking?
Snort, 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 snort.
Oh, Lord, yeah. I mean, that's Lily Tomlin. That particular character is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah. But Ken, you were saying that Sammy Davis really that was his catchphrase.
I remember him saying "ring-a-ding,
ring-a-ding-ding" a lot. Yeah. It was the days of Nehru jackets and everything was sort of like cool, but it was slimy or smarmy. I don't know. It was Austin Powers.
No, they were cool.
Yeah.
The people trying to imitate them were smarmy.
They weren't just the cool. If you remember the lingo back then, they were the cool cats.
That's right.
Oh,
yeah.
that's-
Hey,
that-
you're a cool cat.
That's
yeah.
right. That's right. But ring a ding ding, run ringy ding. But that brings me back. Honest to God. Yeah. Hey, what did you watch? Were you because Ken, you're not old enough for laughing. I mean, like. How old are you? Anyway, you're ageless. I
cover my age very
you
well.
really do.
I hide it
I
well.
wish you'd cover your legs more.
So, but, yeah.
But that's different.
Hey, those were actually tan.
You were the one person that I know that wears shorts all throughout the entire year.
Not all through the year. I think during February and March I quit.
Oh, you do.
Back in the day when I was at the ski club, and we'd be working out there in the late fall, and it's below freezing out there. One of the guys that would come out working on the mountain wore shorts. He was in construction, but that's what he did. He'd come out and wearing shorts.
Yeah.
And it's 25 degrees out, and we're working up on the mountain, and he's got shorts.
Yeah,
on. I just
the
never
Poland
figured
Spring water delivery people wear shorts all year long. That's one of their things.
Oh, is that right? Is it a fashion choice? Is anything a fashion choice?
For me, it's a comfort choice.
A comfort choice.
Yeah. And you know, you're questioning me watching these older shows.
Yes.
You know, I grew up getting cable when I was a preteen. All right. So that means I had the reruns and the TV Land and Nickelodeon and everything. So I have further proof that I watched Laugh-In.
Yeah, you do.
I just didn't see a Lily Tomlin cut the other night.
Yeah.
All right. Artie Johnson. Very, very interesting.
But not funny. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Yes, yeah. No. And who was with Artie Johnson? What's the woman's name? She was... she played an older woman. She was not really. She was from Providence, Rhode Island. Ruth
Buzzy.
Ruth Buzzy.
Goldie Hawn came from that show too.
Yeah,
she did.
Yeah, she was the ditzy blonde that kept opening the doors and with the one-liners.
All right, another one-liner. All right, Goldie Hawn from Laugh-In.
Yeah.
Sock it to me.
Oh my God! Wait a minute! No. Sock it to me with Judy Carn.
Was she?
Judy Carn. Yeah, they all did sock it to me. I don't remember who coined the phrase, but then
I remember it being Goldie saying
but
that.
Sammy Davis Jr. was on there playing the judge. Here come the judge. Here come the judge. Order in the court, cause here come the judge.
So, those were the days when then suddenly Laugh-In would say these things, and then everybody is saying those.
Oh yeah,
we don't have
talk
that so
about
much.
Politically incorrect. Oh, so many things. You bet your sweet Bippy.
Oh,
remember that?
Oh my God!
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Oh God!
And what was the finger of fate?
The fickle finger of
the fickle finger of fate. It was an award that they would give out.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I got it. It's on Netflix or in Amazon. You can
I'm
watch
sure you
it.
can go on and watch.
Watch all those things. It was the days of first color. Color televisions came in early on. You didn't know black and white televisions.
I had a 13-inch black and white in my bedroom for my first personal TV. Down in the rec room, we had a 26-inch console black and white.
I watched Green Acres, and I didn't know that there was green in Green Acres. You know,
and of course, you remember one of the first adapters they had to convert the black and white TV to color?
So to explain this, there would be a box that sat on
you had your black and white television, and you wanted a color TV.
Right. What did you...
Right?
Oh, my God, I know this. I know what you're going to say.
There's a film you would get that you'd put in front of the tube.
Oh, that's right.
With a green hue on the bottom and a blue hue on the top, and that way you get your color
It was
TV.
so stupid. It was so stupid.
Well, yeah, but you could buy it because Ronco sold it on late night television.
There was a show on Saturday mornings for kids called Rinky Dink. And I know you don't know this.
You're going back way too far.
And it had in order to watch Winky Dink. Yeah, it was Winky Dink, not Winky.
You had to hold something up or something.
No, that was Romper Room and the Be a Good Doobie.
Be a Good Doobie. That I remember.
Doobie a Doobie. No, man, yeah. I can see what you do. I can see you out there. Yeah. The teacher. But no, this was a game that you would play. Your parents would buy you a plastic screen that would go, what do you call that film, that would go on the television set, okay? and then Jack Barry and Winky Dink would draw something on the television set, and you would have a special erasable pen that you could draw on,
along
with them, and then the film, you would take the film off when you wanted to watch regular
your own picture.
When you were done doing your Winky Dinks, did you make Shrinky Dinks?
No, that came later.
All right, but you know what happened? All the kids
it had to do with cold water.
This show did not last, you guys. Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, no.
This show did not last, that Winky Dink thing, because parents soon found out that their kids were drawing on the television set without the shrink wrap or whatever that was.
with the daily equivalent of Sharpies. I think magic markers were there.
That's exactly.
All right, see, now, in the 60s, I had 2 televisions. They were black and white, and they were in the same room.
Why? So one didn't work?
On one, the picture worked, but the sound didn't.
No.
You know you're a redneck if your working television sits on top of your non-working television.
Yeah, but both of mine worked partially. I had one where the picture worked and the sound different. I had one where the sound worked and the picture didn't. So you turned them both to the same channel, and you could watch your show.
Unbelievable. We had one of the first consoles in our television sets back in the 1950s when it was only on in the afternoon. You know, I mean, it was not on all day. Your television in the early days started in the mid-afternoon, and it would only go on like from maybe 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock.
How the hell did they have TV without electricity, Bob?
You mean in the cave where my mother was cooking over the roaring fire?
Yeah. See, they had to draw the Indian on the wall and then go.
Oh, you guys!
That is so un-PC. If I did that on my show, I'd get written up, Jay.
That's right. Well, WSKB is not responsible for anything that Jay Pegluka says. Hey, everybody! It is 7:46 in the morning. Why don't we play? Do you know? I'm trying to think around. Let's not do let's do Wilco. Speaking of independent, maybe you know about this. What is independent like the music that we play on WSKB on the radio club shows throughout the day on the loops that is independent music or whatever. What exactly is that?
Technically, the format that the radio club wants here is college alternative.
And so, college alternative. What is college alternative?
It's music that only college kids like.
No.
That's the wise guy answer.
Yeah.
Where do they find it? They just pull it off it's
on YouTube,
the net.
YouTube forums on Facebook.
Okay, so they share it between themselves.
Yeah, but they also get CDs and independent bands and independent.
I've been making CDs for 20 years plus.
Music, independent CDs?
Yeah, not my own music, but I'm making CDs, so I'm sure some of these people are smart enough to record their own stuff to them.
So and marketing their own stuff to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Wilco, do you know the band Wilco?
Roger Wilco?
Roger Wilco, over and out. Yeah. No, the name of the band is Wilco, Wilco. It is really well known. I'm surprised you guys don't know it.
I've heard of it, but I couldn't tell you a single song they've done.
They play up at the art. What Masmoka a lot, and independent music fest Austin City Limits has had them on lots. I mean, and that's where you see a lot of independent music folks on Austin City Limits, and you know.
I get what you're trying to talk about now. You're calling it not instrumental,
independent,
not independent music. Because I'm thinking of a style of music now.
Yeah.
You're talking independent musicians.
Yeah, well, sort of, yeah, yes.
Okay. Yeah, there's a difference here. It sounded like you're talking about like a genre.
I am.
And it was thrown...
Alternative music.
Okay, but you were calling it independent music.
Yeah, because I thought that
they're independent musicians, Bob. They're not alternative musicians. They're independent musicians making alternative music.
As somebody who has an alternative lifestyle, I'm trying to figure out what this all means. I can't.
Hey, Jay, I'm sorry. It was about to go into a break, and I pulled him away.
I'm totally lost.
It doesn't take much. All right. You should know that by now.
So I'm going to play you alternative.
So Wilco, Bob.
Wilco is an alternative music band that's well known, and I'm going to play you their song "Camera." Now we'll listen to it and figure out why it's alternative music, and it's Camera with a K. This is Wilco, Wilco.
I need a camera to my eye, reminding which lies lie in hiding, which shackles belong. I'm coming out, tears to see how far I've driven in the dark, with echoes in my heart. For my family, some are lost on the sidewalk. I know it's not okay. I smashed the camera. I wanna know why. Tonight, deciding which lies lie in hiding, which shackles belong. I'm counting on a heart I know by heart to walk me through this war. With memories distorted. For my family, till I'm lost on the sidewalk. No, it's not okay. I'm counting out. No one knows how far. I've driven in the dark. With echoes in my heart. For my family, tell them I'm lost. Yeah, I'm lost. And now it's not okay. No, it's not okay. No, it's not okay.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Commercial Distributing Company of Westfield. Now in its third generation of family ownership, Commercial is one of the premier beverage distributors of Western Massachusetts. The Plasek family and the staff of Commercial Distributing wishes you good times throughout the year and urges you to drink responsibly.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Barnes & Noble College Bookstore in the Ely Campus Center, offering Westfield State t-shirts, sweatshirts, and gift merchandise, all of your academic needs, and offering textbook materials in new, used, ebook, and rental formats. Available at the bookstore on campus or online at westfieldstate.bncollege.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
He rules the roost on Thursday from 6 till 10. It's Patrick Berry.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Yes, that was a wow. You can talk now.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning, July 31st, 2018, and counting.
Hey, I want to thank our fact checker, Danny Nason, out there.
Oh, he's so
Correct
good at
us.
that. He keeps
us
on track.
honest, yes. The open air, open mic nights are Tuesdays on the green, so we apologize. I think we said Wednesday.
Well, that's good because Big Brother is on Wednesday and Thursday.
Well, there's just too much to keep track of.
Really?
But no, there's nothing going on in Westfield, right?
No, seriously, you come downtown, you're anywhere in Westfield, you're going to find something going on. That's a good thing.
All right.
Thank you, Danny.
Okay. So I played that, what is alternative music, okay? And Wilco is an alternative band. Probably Reptilian Czar is an alternative band. Would you call that? I mean, like...
No, they're a cover band. They cover Doors tunes.
Alternative music redirects here.
You are correct, Jay.
It's alternative.
Yes, sir.
Alternative rock.
At least I was right once this morning.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So this will clear it up. Stylistic origins of alternative music is really alternative rock music. It's punk rock, post-punk, new wave, hardcore punk. And it originated in the late 1970s to early 1980s. Typical instruments, vocals, guitar, bass, keyboard, and drums. Well, my God, that sounds like a band.
However, Bob, it is not independent music.
It's not it's not independent music.
Now, new wave, I'm trying to figure out how. Well, okay, new wave is alternative, but it's not close to punk. New wave is like that's what you sit on the top of a mountaintop, smoke a bone, and listen to new wave music.
Oh,
No, that would be new age.
New age?
New age is that type of music.
Okay, so look
All
at
right,
this.
well, that offset my once being right then, didn't it, this morning?
Yeah, new wave to me sounds sort of like French movies or something. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever that means.
Back to this, Bob.
Okay, the term's original meaning was broader, referring to a generation of musicians unified by their collective debt, how much they owed. To the style or simply the independent ethos of punk rock. In other words, whatever made it punk, if they were dedicated to it, it made them alternative. Alternative has been used as a catchphrase for music from underground rock artists that receives mainstream recognition, or for any music, whether rock or not, that is seen to be descended from punk rock. No, okay.
Thank goodness for Wikipedia.
Oh my God! Yes, yeah.
Somebody take the phone away from them.
Because
and thank God it's on the internet, because that means it's true.
Oh, absolutely true. Absolutely true. So Wilco is one of those independent bands, and I bet Reptilian Czar, which is Downtown Live's group this week, is considered an alternative.
No,
band.
they're a cover band.
They're a cover band.
And that's Lynn Weigel. She's the lead singer for that band.
Oh, Reptilian Czar is Lynn Weigel? Oh, for God's, I knew it sounded familiar. Ah, God. So, okay. So, a cover band, it plays other people's music. Alternative bands play their own music that they write and everything.
That's an alternative viewpoint, yeah.
Yeah, there we are. All right. Hey, 7:58 in the morning. So, what do you got planned for the weekend? I was at Cape Cod this past weekend. You got any kind of big thing happening this weekend?
I will be putting a sound system into an automobile that I procured this past week.
Oh, I heard you bought a Cadillac.
You had to go ahead and announce I got a Cadillac. You just couldn't say car, could you?
It's a boat.
When people have a Cadillac, yeah, it's sort of like, well, it's Kenny's Rolls Royce or something. He's driving a Cadillac. It must mean that he's made it.
No,
You've made it when you've
He's driving a Cadillac because somebody else bought it and he's driving it with the little hat.
Oh,
and
yeah,
coat.
that's right.
Thank you, Jay.
How big a boat is it? How big a boat is it?
It's only 4 inches longer than my Impala. I mean,
Does it fit in your garage?
Absolutely.
Oh, and it's a very wide car, though.
No, it's actually
No?
It's about as wide as my Chevy Impala.
Really?
Yeah, it's just a little bit nicer.
What year is this Cadillac?
94. One more year, it'll be an antique.
God, oh my God. And what?
Wait a minute. An antique used to have to be 20
An
years old.
An antique car is 25 years.
25 years.
Yes.
Okay. Because it used to be 20.
Yeah.
Maybe it's always been
yeah.
25.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, no, I think. Well, for houses, it's 50 years. If you're 50 years out, you can be an antique
car. It's 25. You can get.
Wait a minute. How old do I have to be an antique?
You are.
I'm already there.
You
Okay.
can get an antique plate for your car if it's
You're
25 years.
Really. Yeah. There's a difference between being an antique and then being a ruin. You know, like the ruins of something, the antique,
or a relic for that matter. Yeah.
A relic.
Okay, yeah.
Right, yeah. I'm tending toward a relic. You're tending toward an antique. At any rate, hey, we're going to be talking Big Brother. I'm going to get.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Big Brother.
But that's on Ken's show. Ken's Den today. You have Dan Paquette from the library.
The library.
Yes. Yeah. We look forward to that.
The basement of the library.
But he's not here to talk about the library. He's here to talk about the library in 2 weeks. He's here because he was going to be a fill-in co-host. And in the end, my side chick is actually here today. So now Dan Paquette is going to be a co-host.
You have two co-hosts.
I have a co-host, and then I have.
I love a morning when we can have cocoa.
And then I have, because I'm behind the board this morning.
Is there marshmallows?
There's going to be Kathy's the co-host, and then Dan Paquette is going to be the co-host.
Hello, Daniel. Yeah. You are the co-host.
Yeah, that's not.
Dan likes cocoa.
That's
too.
not number 4. That's number 5.
Oh yeah.
That microphone.
Where the heck is number? Oh, there it is.
And you have to hit the AB button. It has to be on B.
There we go.
ABCD,
Try it now.
QFG.
No, it's not working.
I'll move over to the other one.
Oh yeah, community radio in action, folks. Community radio. We had we were professional for a while here, but now
Try number 4, Jay.
Now we're trying.
I'm throwing you off.
You should be able to get him now.
Jay's just punching buttons now.
There he is. Yeah.
Anything. Give me anything.
Yeah, there we are. Hey,
Good morning, Dan.
Yes.
Good morning.
So guess what? The ghost hunters are coming to my house again this weekend. This is the second visit of Agawam Paranormal people. They're coming to confirm or that there are actually ghosts in my house. Yeah, that's exactly right. So next week I'll be able to report sightings in my house.
Shaggy.
Ghosts in your house and skeletons in your closet. It's perfect.
Are there any
Gonna show up out front in the mystery mobile.
Yeah, really.
That was a cool van.
Yeah. Skeletons in my closet will be yes. They're going to come out and they're going to talk to everyone this weekend, and then they're going to be making a presentation at a harvest dinner sponsored by the 350th anniversary committee, which will happen on the same night as Pumpkin Fest on Saturday, October 13th.
Yeah, that ought to be a good night. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm hosting ghosts at my home this weekend. And what are you going any? What are you doing, Daniel?
None. Just, next week I'm on vacation, so preparing for that.
Oh, and we're preparing for your vacation.
Yeah, because we're not leaving till Tuesday night.
Well, where are you leaving? You have to start a week ahead to prepare.
Well, I mean, it's just I work Monday and Tuesday, so I have to have my stuff ready on the weekend so I can just have it all packed up and
it's
ready to
not
go
like,
for the Cape.
you're going to
Packing
Cape.
up children, it takes some effort to get all the
Those of
gear
us that
ready.
have real jobs, Bob.
Yeah, what-
it takes us 3 weeks to prep for a vacation for 3 days.
And then an extra
That's
week
right.
at the end to get
And you
decompress
have
and everything.
kids.
Yeah.
Well, add another week. You
Yeah.
got to pack the kids' stuff.
Oh, hear you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I remember going to the beach. Are you going to the beach?
We are, yeah.
Where are you going to? Which part of the Cape are you going to?
So we'll be staying in Hyannis.
Well, I know Hyannis.
Yeah.
Hyannis? Yeah, of course.
That's beautiful out there. But taking the kids to the beach. You got to rent a van to bring the kids to the beach.
It is so much work to go to the beach. Why don't you just stay in the house, air conditioned, look out at the water? That's me. That's my idea.
There's no
of going
waves
to
to
the
play
beach.
in my house, hopefully. At least.
You
I brought
want waves?
my kids to South Carolina, to Myrtle Beach down there, right?
Yeah.
We stayed in a hotel on the beach on the 11th floor. And you know where I stayed and watched the kids? From the 11th floor balcony. Yes.
Oh, that shark looks like he's going to get him.
Johnny.
So I told my buddy when I'm on a conference call at work last Wednesday. I'm down at Cape May in New Jersey. I says, hey, to those of you who are wondering what that noise is in the background, is I'm on the beach in Cape May, and my guy from Albany gets on. He goes, it's Shark Week, you know.
Holy mother. Well, I can't think of any worse than going to the Cape and then having you pack up to go to the Cape and then you pack up to go to the beach.
Yeah.
That pack up to go to the beach, getting to the beach, and then and getting off the beach. That has got to be, for me, one of the more strenuous, sweating, god-awful times I'll never have to do again.
Reason number 34, I hate the beach.
Yeah. I'm staying in the room, and I'm looking out at the window at the water in the air conditioning.
Well, ours, like, you pack up all this extra gear. You stay at this house, so you have to unpack the entire car. Then you got to go to the beach. You got to pack up all your beach gear. But when you get to the beach, you have to unpack it because you still have a child in diapers. So your car becomes the de facto changing station. So everything has to be out, so you have the room to change.
I'm just trying to imagine you in a purple thong on the beach.
I just can't unsee
Sights you
that.
can't see. Sights you can't see. Happy things. Puppies. Kittens.
Oh my God, help me. I'm not Canadian. At any rate, everybody, 8:06 in the morning, I'm going to hand it off to Ken Stomsky in a second. Our music between shows is going to be, I love B.B. King. Don't you like B.B. King as a guitarist and a singer? So this is Blues and G, B.B. King. Hey, everybody, get out there and volunteer. If you want to see what's happening in Westfield, go to westfieldandweekends.com. And Westfield Creative Arts has all kinds of courses and classes for you. Look online and want to take a course or a class and change up your life. At any rate, have a great weekend, everybody, and a great week. We'll see you next week.
WSKB, Westfield.
Yes, you're on the top now, baby. But don't nothing stay the same. Hey, you on the top now, baby. But don't nothing stay the same. Every now and then, baby, Lady Luck deals another hand. Oh, you calling me your pal now, when I used to be your man. Hey, you calling me your pal now, baby, when I used to be your man. Oh, you're flying real high now, baby.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Bay State Dental. Comprehensive dentistry at 14 convenient locations in Springfield, Chicopee, Longmeadow, West Springfield, Belchertown, East Longmeadow, Ludlow, Northampton, Greenfield, and Wilbraham, as well as 29 Broad Street in Westfield. Bay State Dental makes it a priority to help you achieve and maintain the healthy smile you deserve. On the web at baystatedental.com.
We thank the generosity of our underwriters. For more information, please contact the Westfield State Foundation at 413-572-8646.
Wednesday mornings from 6 till 8, it's Tina Gorman with Wake Up Wednesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield.